My take is like the question for this topic that you brought, which is great. I would turn it, instead of saying, why do people do not heal, I turn it inside, why do I not heal? Why am I not whole? And because of course that is my experience. Any of us who have not had perfect health or well-being will be focusing on that. So for myself, I discovered, having really terrible diagnoses, many at the same time, that of course, from fear, you're going to focus on the disease, the illness. The focus is very much on healing, 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 illness, illness, illness. The intention is going towards illness. The focus is on illness. We're focusing our intention on illness. We're magnifying the illness. I know it from experience. I think we all know what fear is like. And so just from realizing this, and just as has been said, understanding through intensive practice for really decades, that to come to understand, oh, my focus, I want to mention something very important. I think that makes the big difference, and it's actually, to my understanding, a very large topic in Zhineng Qigong science, which is to understand the reference framework, how the reference framework actually works, what it is made of, how to deal with it, and how to transform it. Of course, we do it through practice and everything that is included. But the reason why, in my understanding, why the focus is, in my understanding, for most of us, initially when we have some kind of diagnosis, the focus is on fear and on solving the problem. There is a problem. Instead of focusing on basic aspects of Zhineng Qigong science, like the openness that you are the spirit already, you just forgot it. And so here are all these methods and mantras and techniques, like this mantra here, Hun Yuan Ling Tong. Instead of focusing on them, we focus, no, I need to get rid of this. I need to go to the doctor and not have the disease. Initially, we have to be transitioning from intense fear and anxiety and worry and everything to coming to peace. I'm alive right now. Nothing is wrong. I can practice for another hour or another 2 hours, whatever. And just to be focused, narrowing our attention to just what we want. I want to be joyful and peaceful and happy and feel better. And that's the focus, moment by moment, In addressing the notion of the reference framework, I work with people very differently. I don't use Qigong terms because in the West, it is very complicated in my experience. However, my experience is that people say, yes, I really need to heal from this, that, the other. There's thousands of things. But because of the established reference framework, which we could understand as who we think we are, at some superficial level, it's actually very superficial. It's not deep at all, but it's very strong. So these individuals come and wish to be healed. They certainly need it and want it. But as soon as they begin to heal, which means to open, the heart opens, I'm beginning to be touched by life. Oh, maybe I can trust, maybe I can follow. Then immediately there's a closing. No, this is wrong. I need to do some other thing. This is not, so it's, the foundation of Zhineng Qigong is focusing on opening and closing, right? So we have to be observant of the opening and the closing. So to simplify, to be attached to the reference framework means to be attached to the closing or to the opening only. Oh no, I'm opening, great. Oh no, I'm opening too much. Oh no, I'm closing. Oh no. So that's the foundation of the reference framework. So to dissolve it, I need to see that there's opening and there's closing, and that's life. And so I'm distanced from this and from that. And I, who is aware of the closing and the opening, I am not that. And so that begins to demolish the foundation of the reference framework. It's really a pattern of openings and closings. you could say at a really, really big scale. So you could say the false sense of self, in Chinese, the Xinbin, the shadow self, is made up of the reference framework. And it's completely superficial. There's no heart in it. There's no trust. There's no warmth. It's very cold, actually. And from the experience of course, being like everybody else, it's inevitable. That's how everybody has a reference framework. But Zhineng Qigong offers a new reference framework, which is, it's very obvious from the very beginning. No, you are not this thing. You are, as Dr. Pan says, the indomitable spirit. That's who you are. So that's a different reference framework. So it's kind of going in from one to the other over many, many experiences of being totally closed, being totally open, and then finding the balance to where you are, where you want to be. I would even go as far as faith. People don't talk about faith in Qigong, but in fact, I believe that's, in my experience, that actually is what is required. Faith means that, it's not to have some kind of belief, it will work. I think that's good. It's better than nothing. To have faith means that you are surrendered. You are surrendered to what your life has given you, and that you now have this path. This is my experience. When I was really at the end, I didn't know what else to do. Then life just showed up, and very soon I was in China. And then it's not like, I will do it. I need to do this. I need to do that. No, it's just, okay, I give up. I will follow now. So that was a big lesson for me in my, you could say, my Zhineng Qigong path, is from the very beginning, surrender, let go, and let this wave carry you. So trusting in life, Zhineng Qigong is part of life. So trusting Zhineng Qigong is, in a way, is a way of trusting in life, you see. Well, there's this a very great intelligence behind it, and I will surrender to it and follow it to the end, whatever it takes. Well, I would say that in general, everything has to be about what's happening right now. Speaking about healing, am I whole right now? Right now, is there wholeness in my experience? What is that like? Do I need to be practicing some method to be whole? Then, of course, that is natural. That means that the healing process is still ongoing. It will always be ongoing, but what I mean is, if I am separate from the situation that is happening right now, then I'm not whole. There's a fragment, there's a separation. So there's a resistance or a fighting or something is not well. there is no wholeness, there is no wellness. And in my experience, that's always is a matter of the heart. Can I be open to whatever is happening right now without resistance, loving it? But it's not an idea. When there is love in our experience, everything is very light and smooth and even. We all know these terms: smooth, openness, lightness. There's no concern. Everything's fine, just exactly as it is. It is totally okay. I just want to refer to this mantra here again. Not everybody is open to it. Not everybody is aware of it or teaches it. But fundamentally, it means when the spirit moves through our heart and our mind, we are one with whatever is happening. And then the power of intention and the will and everything, it just happens for you. There's no separate Federico willing his life or intending his life or whatever. That is absurd. When healing means when there's no Federico anymore, to control or to have an intent, oh, I'm doing this and this and that and the other. In my experience, that is still disease. The reference framework is still very strong, very, very much active. And they will come up with new ways to challenge the sense of being whole again. So I think it's really back to what has been said. Qigong is not separate from life. It is a manifestation of life, a manifestation of consciousness. And of course, not everybody will be exposed to it, but whoever is fortunate enough, and that is number one, to be fortunate even to know about it, then to be fortunate to understand it or to benefit from it, that's another experience. Then you realize, actually, this is not about Dr. Pang or Zhineng Qigong or China or whatever, or a person, or it's not about any of that. It's just about being one with life, to be open, to surrender to it, and to say yes to everything. Everything. Then there's no resistance. There's not going to be a corresponding contraction in opposition to whatever is happening. Then we can speak about being joyful, being very open. There's just yes. Yes and thank you. So I just want to offer one anecdote. I think it was 2006 when Zhineng Qigong discovered me. I don't know how it was. Everything in the circumstances of my life was in opposition of going with this, learning this, being exposed to it. The day before I was going to go to China, I was in a car accident. And they told me that you can't fly. Are you insane? You can't go. I said, no, I am going to go. And so it is simply merging with life. That, to me, that's what Zhineng Qigong is about. It's giving us some kind of structure that we can consider through practices and methods and ideas and mantras. It's a vast field. There's something for everyone. I will be attracted by some particular thing, but in my case, there's just I was like I used to surf. You get into a wave and you just follow it all the way to the shore. So I think it's to make it more, simultaneously more simple. It's really just a gift. Can I receive the gift? Or am I going to be spending many years thinking about, oh, maybe it's a good one? I don't know. You see, I'm not sure that there is choice involved in that. I wouldn't say, in fact, that there is choice. Either it happens for you or it doesn't. And that's just how it is, period. So I consider myself very fortunate that I was obedient to what was offered. What I'm saying now may sound a little bit shocking, but at the level of consciousness, if I'm not healing, it means that I do not wish to heal. I do not wish to heal. There's a certain enjoyment, there's a certain happiness that takes place in the melodrama of this and that and suffering and contractions and difficulties and challenges. So at the level of consciousness, I'm still primarily interested in that. Or maybe my wholeness will be found in these things. I'm still going outward to those things. Maybe as consciousness, I will be found there. My peace, my settling, my wholeness. So I would suggest that if, as consciousness, I realize this is not what I wish, then it's a natural process. Nobody's doing it. It simply happens. Then, maybe this is not what I want. And then I will be having the real motivation to trust in life, to follow the indications, because there are many that are being given. Like one of them, the most beautiful one in my life has been Zhineng Qigong. Just follow, obey. It's a matter of obedience, you see. But you're not obedient to somebody else. You're obedient to yourself, to your own heart. Oh no, what I really want is to be at peace, to be whole, to all the understandings of the world. They make no difference if my heart is not open. They're useless. So I think this is very important. It may sound, no, that's insane. What does that mean? But in my experience, that is how it is. At the level of consciousness, if I make the choice, if it has been made for me already, it has been made. Oh, I will be healed. I will be happy. I will be at peace. Then I will do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter. Anything. You will do anything. Anything. You will do that. But if you're still, oh, I think this, maybe I will try, there's so many things, thousands of things. I can try this and that modality and 300 this and that and all this and this. I've done it myself. Then I'm not really ready for healing yet. I haven't really been worn down enough and reached the end of the road, you see. I think Zhineng Qigong, like some other disciplines, is really intended for those of us who have reached the end of the road. Just as a little anecdote, when Huaxia was still open, the practice center in China, there are many sick people like quadriplegics, people with cancer, end stage of life, whatever. And there's the description, yes, many people came in the practice field and they died in the practice field. They died there. Standing up, they collapsed and died. But while they were practicing, they were happy. They were whole. You see? So healing has many different dimensions. It doesn't just mean, oh yes, I have a happy life and everything's good. Maybe I'm totally sick and in suffering until the very last second, and I'm there practicing. Like I considered it, because I used to practice for 2 or 3 hours at a time. And then, oh, maybe I will collapse. I don't know. Who cares? I'm very good right now. You see? And then it doesn't matter. So healing can have many different dimensions. It's really about sincerity. Superficially, anybody can say anything. I know because I have said those things. I know. But deeply in our hearts, to really know what I wish, what I truly want, means that I know that I am divided. I am not whole. That's what the other definition of health means: to be unified, integrated. There is no fragment. But if I speak with one half of my mouth and the other says the opposite, it means that I'm divided. I am not whole. So most of us do not wish to face this. I know it's very hard, but it is fundamentally important for healing. That's healing really begins then.